It's a fine day here in the QC, the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm so glad to see it once again. I do hope and pray everyone else is well today, that you're able to get out, get your fresh air, your sunshine, and your exercise in. And I do want to say that this is the day that the Most High has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. There's a lot of folks ain't make it today. And I was on that list like 5 years ago. But the Most High has gotten me here, and He's gotten me this far. And I promised I was going to tell on Him. I told Him, if you do anything to me or for me, I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell on you. Like a chap telling on his siblings. But I do have a great thought of the day that the Most High gave me. And I was expecting to wing it today. And really, there's no way I can say I'm going to wing anything because the Most High is always with me. And His voice is always with me. His Ruach HaKodesh, His Holy Spirit. But usually when the Most High don't give me something like overnight, I would resort to like a word of the day and go from there and see where the Most High leads me. But since He didn't give me anything until this morning, I said, okay, I'm going to just lay back and see what you say. But as I was getting up, and once again, as I had gotten up and gotten in the bathroom and started washing up and preparing myself for my day, the Most High told me, word is bond. Word is bond. And for those that won't or wasn't raised in the 80s or 90s, maybe the early 2000s, you really don't have a real idea of what word is bond means, or the seriousness of it. But here's a meaning that I looked up and got from like an urban definition site. The word is bond is what you're saying is true, correct, or facts. Reassurance that one is telling the truth. And it can also mean one's word is one's bond. And that's really the whole idea of word is bond. What I say, I mean, or what I say, I'm going to do. But of course, I got to take it to the scripts. When you make a vow to the Most High, do not delay in fulfilling it. He has no pleasure in fools. Fulfill your vow. It is better not to vow than to make a vow and not fulfill it. Do not let your mouth lead you into sin. And that's Ecclesiastes 5:4-7. And I saw another version, and I don't really, prescribe to different versions of the Bible quite often or too often. But I saw this one in my study. And this is the Message Bible of the same text, Ecclesiastes 5:4 and 5. Well, this says 5:4, 5, and 7. When you tell the Most High you will do something, do it now. The Most High takes no pleasure in foolish gabble. Vow it, then do it. Far better not to vow in the first place than to vow and not pay it or pay up. Don't let your mouth make a total sinner of you. When called to account, you won't get by with, sorry, I didn't mean it. Why risk provoking the Most High to angry retaliation? But against all illusion and fantasy and empty talk, there's always this rock foundation. Fear the Most High. And that last part I thought was very a very serious warning. It says, but against all illusion and fantasy and empty talk, there's always this rock foundation, fear of the Most High. And I also found something that Moses said. He said, when thou shalt vow a vow unto the Master, your Elohim, or your Master, the Most High, thou shalt not slack to pay for it. For the Most High, your Elohim, will surely require it of you, and it would be sin in thee. And that's Deuteronomy 23 and 21. And the only note I wrote on this is do what you say or don't say. And I think this is such a serious matter that we all must start paying attention to the words coming out of our mouths, like Chris Tucker said. Because what's happening is people are starting to judge us by what we say. And they always have, but I'm saying this as far as what you believe. See, with this truth, and some people call it a truth, but this is the ultimate truth, which you can't even say that. It's only one truth. But the true facts that we are the children of the Most High, and He's called us as His children to be separate from the world, separate from the world's culture. That's the whole point about it. We're to be set apart from the world's system. And no, we can't set ourselves outside of the world because we're actually in the world, but we're not of the world or like the world, as Yahushua said. And He also prayed for us ahead of time, asking the Father, don't take us out of the world, but keep us from the evil one and his children. And I added his children because we must know that if the Father has chosen people, then Hasatan has a chosen people also. But I'm not going into that. My main point today is keeping your word, because there's repercussions behind your word if you don't keep it. And I think the text says in one place that the blood would be on your hand if you don't do what you say, as far as the Most High telling you to say something to someone and you don't. And see, that's all about keeping your word to the Most High. And see, he had put that on my mind while I was reading the text about the toilet seat confessions or them toilet seat vows we make. And we say, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again if you. And see, that's something we was going over again last night. Pastor Kenny brought up in our barbershop men's talk, or men's call, to where the Most High, he's a loving parent, just like most of us are at this age, and most of us grandparents, but some of us. But, well, I should keep it personal to me, because I really don't know who may be watching this. But he was like most of us, good parents will make or we'll put out a word for our children to do. And we'll tell them, okay, if you do this, I'll do this for you. They'll say, if you do this, I'll do that. And Pastor Kenny said something last night. I didn't really respond to it, but I said that's how my parents were. He said his father, they would ask their father something, and he'll start singing his old favorite song. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe. We'll see. But see, the Most High was dealing with me about that this morning. as I was recollecting that thought and was saying that that's how my partner mom was, he was saying that our parents really wish they could do some of them things we was asking them to do back in the days. But the simple fact is they couldn't. They had to provide for us, keep the lights on, keep the water on. But he's not like them. He's not like our parents or even us at times when we want to do for our children but can't. See, the Most High, he does what he says and he put provisions on what he says he's going to do. He said, if my people who are called by my name, my children, will humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven. Then I will heal their land. See, our people, we want to treat the Most High like our parents treated us. We want to say, we'll see. The Most High say, okay, are you going to do? We want to say, we'll see. It depends on how I feel today. Or we'll see. It depends on the circumstances. Or we'll see. It depends on if you bless me or not. And see, that's the whole foundation to some of our relationships with the Most High. We're not going to keep our word, and he already knew it. That's why he had Moses and Solomon to write up these scripts, giving us fair warning that if you promise the Most High something, you basically sinning when you don't keep it. So that's what I'm just passing along today. A fair warning for you to keep your word, your bond. Because word is bond, as we used to say back in the day. Word is bond, son. I used to laugh when people say that, knowing they was lying through their teeth. Word is bond, I do it. No, you won't, nigga. You ain't gonna do it. Pardon me for cussing. But that's what I meant. They'll say they're gonna do something, but they won't. Just like promises. We'll promise baby stuff. We'll promise we'll do this for our children. But the next thing we know, here comes something else came up that we want to do. And see, that's usually the case. That's why we want to treat the Most High like we treat him, because we can't keep our own vows to our own children. So we tend to believe the Most High is treating us the same way we treat other people. But he's not. He's a faithful father that, like I said, he's already put everything he's going to do in his Torah, in his word. And we can bank on that. Just like I said before, you can take that to the bank. The Most High's word is solid, it's true. And that was one of my texts for today about the Most High and his word being good. Which, if you know somebody's word is good, and I'm going to put that text in the recording. If you know someone's word is good, you can start believing in them. You can start having more faith in them individuals. And see, I guess the most important thing for us to take from this idea today, is that the Most High's word is bond, even when ours are not. But see, he's constantly trying to get us to be more like him. We're his children. And we are basically adopted back in to the household. See, through our folly and disobedience, we were basically kicked out of the household and sent into bondage, which the Most High said he will have to do if we don't obey what he tells us to do. Obey. And see, all this happened, and then now we're coming back into the household of the Most High as adopted children, but we are his children. We are his chosen people, but we're still having to be ushered back into the fold of obedience, I guess you can say, of how things are ran, or how the Most High runs his house. And like I said in the prior recording, he runs a tight ship. But like I said, I think the most important thing from us, for us to take from this idea today, is I need to be more like the Most High, because once again, you never know who's watching you and what they're going through. And they're depending on you to live what you say. To live what you say. Act like what you say. Who had that song? If you really love me, then act like what you say. I'm going to have to look that up and put it in the recording. Because that's exactly how it is with us. We need to act like what we say. Because we're on blast right now. We're in the spotlight right now. Like Tupac said, all eyes are on us. And when all eyes are on you, you want to have your best behavior on point. Just like the example I used of that fellow in a prior recording, he was playing golf, the frisbee golf, and when he saw me, he had all his his mechanics down to the letter, or his his fundamentals. He had like he was going through the fundamentals. His form was on point. Ooh, thank you, Father. That's a good word. Because what the Most High just reminded me of, we have a form of godliness, but not, what's the whole word? We have a form of godliness, but not receiving the power thereof. But I'll put it in the recording. Which means we have a form of doing things right. We do things right a lot of times in people's eyesight. But when it really gets down to it, people can't trust us because they'll catch us when they think we think they're not looking, and they say, "I see that, I told you so." I knew they won't hit no nothing with that Hebrew belief or that Hebrew truth. But see, when we live the life in the dark as well as in the light, see, that's when we're really living the truth, living it out to the point where the Most High can trust us and put more responsibility of His kingdom, as yesterday's topic was, or a prior recording's topic was, the kingdom responsibility, or the responsibility of the kingdom, which is we're the kingdom, and it's our responsibility to do as the text says, to be wise and win souls. But yeah, that was a great point. Great point. But yeah, like I said, our main focus here on out, until the Most High comes to get us, we should be at our Father's business of winning souls, which the number one step in that direction is doing what we say. When we make a vow to the Most High and say, "I'll live for you, I dedicate my life to you." See, when we come to Him with the sinner's prayer, we're telling Him, okay, I'm a debtor, I'm a goner, I'm dead. My life is over. Now the life that I do live, I live through you, and you through me. And it's all about our brothers and sisters. Once we take on that mentality, then our word will become our bond. And I went back and looked up that script. It's having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. Oh, what a serious second word. But like I said, stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom. Have a great day.